What is up, RGL family? Welcome back to another retro news episode. This one is about a topic I think a lot of us in the community, unfortunately, are becoming probably too familiar with, and that is pre-order slash limited edition, limited run fatigue, to use a term the kids use nowadays. I've actually been opting out of recent like Kickstarters, pre-orders from limited run. I've really, for the most part, have limited myself to like retro products, so like Nintendo releases or Genesis releases. Most recently, there was a Kickstarter for a Genesis game called Metal Mac, and by Beam Cannon, which I believe they did have, or they have had other releases. If you're a Pico, like if you've ordered from Pico Interactive previously, you actually can get a discount. But two things have really changed my mind. It's tough because I want to support the community. I want to support, I've said it a million times, right? I want to support these cottage businesses. But one, I think it's getting too expensive. Like, as you can see here, I'm in the US. Now, I don't know what shipping would be if you were in the, I believe this company's in the UK, so I don't know if it'd be cheaper, but with the Pico discount, it's $60 plus $20 shipping. Without it, I think it's a $10 discount. So I think the normal price is $70 US plus $20 US for shipping for the physical edition. So you're talking, and this is common price now, basically like $90 to $100 for these games. And, I don't want to, minimize the effort that it takes to, do the development work. Typically these are small teams, right? It's not like Microsoft Studios or something is developing this. But I feel like and I don't know if this is like a supply issue, and that's why the cost is, has increased so much. But I would think that before there was such little volume to no volume of these type of products, that it would have been more expensive because there's less like scale and quantity, right? So typically when you're producing things, if you order in larger quantities, you get better discounts. So it's weird, or I don't understand why like these things have become very mainstream. There's a lot more volume, it's a lot more common, why the cost has increased so substantially, and why it seems to continue to take longer and longer and longer to get these products. And maybe that's like, again, maybe it's a supply chain thing. I haven't looked into it personally, although it is something I've been thinking of recently. Like, okay, let me do my own research and see like what would it take to get all the components to put a game together. I mean, obviously, if you're not like if the project is not like your main focus, like your primary job or whatever, then it's going to take as long as it's going to take. But I feel like that should be more obvious, right? Which it never really is. Like your expectation is like, this is what the person's doing, right? Beam Cannon is a studio that produces these games, but it could be like these guys who are Beam Cannon, it could be like their third job, you know what I mean? So who knows how long it's going to take. And a perfect example of this, which is a company I've mentioned, an example of this, which I've mentioned before, is Strictly Limited games. I did another video where I talked about I've pre-ordered a Nintendo or several Nintendo titles, and I think there's like a Game Boy, like it was a bunch of like cartridge-based titles, right? And where's the menu? Doesn't seem to work very well with the browser I'm in for some reason. There we go. So I think they have. No. I thought they had like a retro section. Here we go. So let's see, are they still listed in here? Yeah, so this Over Horizon, right? See, it's still pre-order. And then there's also Steel Empire right here. This is also still pre-order. These were pre-order 2 or maybe more than 2 years ago, and they're still pre-order. They haven't even gone through production yet. And they have people's money. And I did a video where I was actually able to finally get a refund, but it wasn't easy. And, you know, Strictly Limited is actually owned or part of a much larger company, you know, so these are not somebody's, you know, some hobbyist who's like, you know, doing it after work in their garage. And, you know, so, I mean, that's crazy that, and they took the money. It'd be one thing if they didn't take the money, right? And then they took payment, you know, once it even was in production, maybe not even shipped, but, you know, at least it's in production. They take the money, right? And then it ships. But they took my money right as soon as I ordered it, and they're not even in production yet. So, you know, and that's crazy. It's like 2.5 years. Here's another. This is the channel I watch, the Manboy Cave, and here his most recent video. He talks about a game from them, and it starts at like right at the 4.5 or almost the 5 minute mark, and it's Bubble Bobble. He ordered a 1.5 years ago, and all he got was the game when he ordered the collector's edition. So it was supposed to come as a collector's edition, you know, with all these other feelies, including the plushies. And he didn't get any of that. He got the game, and he got a postcard. And, you know, he paid the money. He paid the money for the collector's edition a 1.5 years ago. Another example is limited run games. There was the Rugrats game that they released for the Nintendo. It had a technical issue, and they still haven't sent the updated, you know, the fixed carts. And it's tough because, like, I just got the Sega CD games from them, the most recent ones. It was I'd have to look it up, but they had a 2 Sega CD bundle, and one of the cases was damaged, and so I opened up a support ticket, and they sent out a case right away. So it's like, oh well, that's nice, the customer service part of it, right? But their like core business of doing these pre-orders and these re-releases, like 1.5 years here. I mean, this is like, dude, it's getting out of control. You know, there's no way that you're pre-ordering a product and you should have to wait 2 years to get it. I'm sorry. So I've really resolved, you know, to the point where I'm not gonna do it anymore, right? I need to vote with my wallet, and it sucks because like they just did the AVGN release of his game and they made a 8-bit Nintendo edition, and of course like the red cart like sold out immediately. But it's like, when are you gonna get it? 2-3 years from now? Is it gonna work, or is it gonna have some other, like, is there gonna be a mechanical issue? electrical issue like there was with the Rugrats game. You know, because that's even more frustrating to wait 2 years and then get a product that is you know, functionally has an issue, right? Or something in the, you know, in what you receive is damaged, you know, like maybe the slip cover is damaged or, you know, something like that, right? And then you got to deal with that. And I mean, it happens. Like I got the like special edition of oh my gosh, I can picture it. Scott Pilgrim, and it came in like a Sega Genesis clamshell, and the clamshell was damaged, and they replaced it right away, no problem. But you know, you wait however long it takes, you get it, it's damaged, then you know they've got to ship you a replacement. You know, and all of these, like, they're like standard kind of stuff. Used to be, I think, like the Switch stuff was like $30, the Nintendo was like $40. Now the Switch stuff is typically, you know, $40, $50. The Nintendo stuff is like $60, $70. You know, so it's like getting more expensive and it's taking longer to get it. And to me, it's just like there's no, like, as the consumer, I'm not benefiting, you know, until I finally, hopefully, get what I ordered. But I feel like these guys, they have to do better. They're this can't be as good as it can be, right? Like, especially now that there's multiple companies that do it. Like, I can't imagine like this is as good as it gets, right? So, so I'm, you know, I've decided that I am not going to participate anymore. Unfortunately, you know, if they're, you know, I'll buy it off of somebody on eBay for a premium, because at least, you know, at least I'll get it right away. And, you know, I think that's how I'm going to manage it going forward. 'Cause I mean, it's just crazy, how long it's taking to get these pre-orders now. I mean, you know, I'll get, like, I got a notification for something the other day, and I'm pretty sure it's been over a year. And like, I didn't do the Doom Super Nintendo either. That limited run did. You know, the Switch stuff, they seems to be able to release a lot faster. For whatever reason. And maybe that's because they get everything and they're able to do it in house, or it's done, you know, I don't know if it's done onshore, or yeah, I'm not sure why. It seems like Switch stuff does well. I guess the Bubble took a year and a half, so I don't know that that's even true. But you know, and it's all of them, right? It's limited run. It's strictly limited. I know super rare games, same thing. And I think, you know, us as consumers, we have to start voting with our wallets. We can't continue to fund these companies because we're saying then that it's like this level of service is okay, right? And yeah, I mean, the part that sucks is it's like, okay, well, then you don't get products, right? And maybe the company goes out of business and people lose their jobs, which, you know, I don't want anybody to lose their job, but like, I can't, I can't, I work really hard for my money. And, if I continue to buy stuff from these businesses, I'm saying that this is okay. And it's not okay to me. I can't think of anything in my day-to-day life where I give a business my money and then it takes 2 years for me to get what I paid for. And so I'm not going to do it anymore. And maybe you do it, maybe you don't. But that's how I'm handling things from now on. You know, and going back to the cost thing. Now, I understand this is like they're doing like a charity thing where they're giving their profits to the Video Game History Foundation, I think is what it's called, or museum. But dude, $100 for a NES cartridge, like, I mean, that's insane. I'm sorry. And it's not like it comes with a bunch of feelies or things like that, right? It's just like a box manual gray Nintendo cartridge. I feel like just give them $50, right? Because one, they're getting the whole $50. Like, I don't know. They say net profit, and it's like, well, okay, like, what is the net profit, right? Like, is it $2? Is it $20? Is it $30? I mean, you're charging $100 for the game, and then it doesn't come out till quarter 2 2026, supposedly, right? I mean, we know how these things go. And I've run into issues like Mega Cat. They were working with a publisher, and I think it was like a single publisher, and he left them high and dry as well. But like, I put in, it was a Kickstarter, and it was not a little bit of money. It was the Irene Genesis game that was going to be like a shooter, like ZPF. And then the guy just took off. He couldn't do it, I guess. And so that's it. All the money's gone. Yeah. So I think from now on, I'm just going to buy. I'm going to buy physical games that exist, and where I give somebody my money and I get the thing I paid for. And I think that's just, I think that's the precedent we need to set. And, maybe that will help inspire these companies to change their supply chain, or, their process, that, it doesn't take 2 years to get a product to the customer. Because I think, most people, right, wouldn't mind waiting like 6 months, right? Or 4 to 6 months. It's like, all right, but a year and a half, 2 years, 2 years plus, no. Especially like if you've taken my money already. But I mean, that's just crazy. So, not to beat a dead horse here. That's my 2 cents. You do what you want to do. I mean, if you're comfortable giving your hard-earned money for something that you're not gonna see for the foreseeable future, or in the case of some of these Kickstarters and stuff, at all, maybe never. I mean, it's your money, and it's a free country, so you can do what you want. But for me, like, I'm burnt out on it, and I'll just, from now on, I'll get stuff off eBay, or in person at conventions, and where I can pay somebody money, and I can take the thing that I've paid money for. So I just hope everybody has an awesome New Year, and wishing everyone good health and lots of prosperity in 2026. Take care. Bye.